What's up, everybody? So last time we were working on the Civic, we ended up getting the bumper all repaired. Had a pretty nasty crack that ran up the front bumper. We did the plastic welding, the body filler, and the primer. Got that all completed and done, but I couldn't leave it like that. I know I said that I want to vinyl wrap this whole car, and that's what we're going to do at some point, but leaving it in the primer stage, it just didn't look good. So I went ahead and hit it with a little bit of spray paint, which I posted on my Instagram story. So if you guys aren't following me over there, make sure to follow me so I can give you guys some behind the scenes stuff every once in a while. But here is how it turned out, and I gotta say, it looks pretty good for just being a rattle can. Especially getting rid of the crack, and it matches decently. So now that that is repaired and completed, we can move on to the next step of the car. And in that previous video you guys saw, there was a few iffy things about this front end, so we're going to address some of that today and add some exterior accessories. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what we end up picking up. As you can see, this is everything that I picked up for the car. We have an EK9 style rear lip, grille, front lip, and headlights. All these pieces here are off of Amazon. They're all aftermarket. They're the same brand that I used when I did the EM2 lip kit, so I think the lips should fit just fine. The grille, I think, will fit okay. The only gripe I have with it is the mesh is incorporated with the grille, so it's not like the EM1 or the Type R factory grille, where this mesh is removable. I would have loved to find all OEM parts, but unfortunately, the OEM Type R parts, you can't buy brand new, and when they do pop up for sale, they're very expensive and they are kind of hard to get. So we went ahead, going to utilize these aftermarket ones. And as far as the headlights go, I know I can still get the OEM ones from Honda, but my plans are with these headlights are to eventually cut them up and modify them, and we'll be doing a video on that here at some point. And I couldn't bring myself to spend the 800 bucks on brand new OEM headlights, so I went with the next best thing, which is the aftermarket ones. And you can see it's got the gunmetal gray housing, so it's as close to Type R headlights as we can get for now. And like I said, I just can't bring myself to modify a brand new set of headlights from Honda. So we're gonna go ahead and utilize these. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in on the front end here. We'll pop off the bumper, that we can have access to the headlights, the grille, and then put on the front lip and see how the fitment is there. Once that's done, we can go ahead and move on to the back. So I went ahead, got the bumper off, as you guys can see here. We'll go ahead, pop out these headlights now. Looks like there's just two here on the top. I believe there's, yep, one there, two underneath here on the bottom, and then another one off here on the side. And then do the same thing for the driver. Only difference is on this driver's side is you can see this tab here is busted. So that's the main reason for replacing these headlights. We could have buffed and polished them and had them looking good, but like I said, the Type R style headlights will look a lot better. So pop those out now and put the new ones on. So here is our old headlight, all yellowed, nasty looking. This is actually the better side that doesn't have the busted tabs or anything, but we're gonna have to transfer over each one of these bulbs. So we've got the turn signal and then the headlight itself. So we'll take these bulbs, put them in the new one. And as you can see here, the new light looks way better than the other one. Just take off these little plastic covers and paper covers that are on the back side. Like I said, put the bulbs in, and we'll have to aim these once we get it done. But we can go and throw these on the car now. So I got both headlights on now. I was taking my time with them, trying to get them lined up properly. There was a little bit of adjustments and stuff, but on this side, I guess on both sides, there's a little bit of gap here. I was trying to finagled to get into place to line up. There's a tab back there that you can line it in, but it still kind of tucks in and gives a little bit of a fender gap, which I'm not really fond of, but they are aftermarket headlights. They fit decently for the rest of the mounting points and stuff, and we'll see how the rest of it looks once we get the bumper and the grille on here. But overall, I think they look pretty good. Like I said, they're not OEM, but for what we're going to do to them, they'll work for now. Let's go and test them out. Make sure they light up before I go and throw everything else on. Oh yeah. You get the running lights, headlights. It's really bright compared to the old headlights. They were pretty yellow and nasty. Alright. Now let's move on to the grille and the front lip. I went ahead, I put the bumper up on the stand again, and in our case for the grille, it just slides out. It's supposed to have those bolts and stuff underneath here, but mine doesn't have it, so we can go and put this off to the side, and I believe the new grille does not have it either, so it'll be the same kind of style as this, where it's just connected up here at the top, plastic clips. We'll have to get a couple more because like you guys saw, there is a couple missing and I broke one, but yeah. That's how to pop that off. So we'll save the grille for last, but we can go ahead and throw on the front lip. Okay, so for the front lip, just gonna lay on here. And it looks like somebody already ran a lip on this at one point. And you guys look down here. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's a couple holes already drilled. So somebody must have had a lip on this bumper at some point. So hopefully it was the same one that I got. But yeah, we'll go ahead, take the new lip, and we'll see how fitment is on this. Oh yeah, that's nice and snug. So I think what I'm going to do is just throw a little bit of 3M tape here and here, and then have the screws on each end that the kit came with, and we'll run that just for the time being. Once we get this car actually vinyl wrapped, because this is going to have to come off again, I don't want to fully secure it, and the screws and the way it fits is pretty snug, so I think it should be more than enough. Just adding a little bit of 3M tape to hold it down should help secure it a little bit more. So we'll throw on a little bit of 3M tape, screw it down, and we should be good. Okay, so we went ahead, got the lip attached with the 3M tape on the two ends there. Like I said, this isn't going to be permanent. I want to be able to remove it just because once we do wrap the car, I want that to be easy to remove. Once it is wrapped, we'll go ahead and run a full strip of 3M tape on that and complete it. But for now, I think the 2 strips on the side will be perfect. And then we'll go ahead and put the 4 self-tapping screws on each end of the lip. So I decided just to do 1 screw on each end because I looked underneath the bumper here and they have some extra holes drilled out here. So I think I might utilize them, and because this touches the bumper, put 1 over here and 1 over here just to add a little bit more strength underneath. And once that's done, we can go ahead and throw this on the car and see how it looks. So bumper's on, looks good. The lip, I really like the way it looks. It fits really well. Matches our side skirt here, so it's black, black. Like I said, once we get this all wrapped, I think it'll look a lot better. Let's go ahead, throw the grill on. It should just slide in, and we'll just put those plastic clips on top. Like I said, I am missing a couple, so we'll have to replace those at some point. But for now, let's just go and see how it looks. So here it is. Front end is all complete now and all put together. We got the grille, the headlights, the front lip all installed. I think it turned out pretty good. The grille though is definitely throwing me off just because of how big and open it looks since it is all black. Once we do get this vinyl wrapped to be the body match of whatever color we choose to have the car, I think it'll be a lot better. Then this will be black mesh, and then having that be the color of the car will look a lot cleaner. Right now it just looks huge and kind of like there's nothing there. Yeah. Headlights, really like the way they look. The gunmetal gray I think sets it off really nicely, especially compared to these old yellow faded things. And unfortunately, like I said, this tab here on the driver's side headlight was busted, so that was the main reason for replacing them. But I think these headlights clean it up a lot, gives it that Type R style look. I know they're not OEM Type R headlights, but for what we're going to do to them, they'll be perfect. The only thing is, this side here, we have a slight gap between the fender and the headlight, which I try to adjust as much as possible. I don't know how much it shows up on camera, but it is a little bit off there. And then also over here, the headlight is touching the bumper just slightly. I try to adjust it as much as possible. I messed with that bracket that was underneath of the bumper, raised it up a little bit more, try to give myself a little bit more clearance. Helped a little bit, but it is touching just slightly. You can see over here, we do have a nice gap here. It's fully flush, and it is pretty tight there. There is a little bit of a gap there, but not nearly as bad as the passenger side. And then the lip, I think the lip is the best fitting piece out of this whole thing. It was nice and snug to the whole front bumper. The only thing is, it does kind of flare out over here, which I think that's how most lips are. I don't know if the OEM one is quite like that, but overall, I think it looks pretty good. You guys can let me know in the comments below what you guys think. But for now, I think we're gonna go ahead, mess with the back end. So we'll push the car forward just a little bit to give myself a little bit more room, and we'll throw that rear lip on. Okay, so now we're at the back of the car. Got to push forward just a little bit. Here's the rear lip, as you guys can see. Now the bumper curves it quite a bit, and this lip is quite straight. So we're gonna have to make it bend a little bit, and this would help if I had another person, but it's just me, so we'll see how we can get this to work. It should just hook there on the bumper. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna stay on its own, but I want to see how well the fitment is. And it appears to be pretty good. If I line it up just here and here, it's nice and tight once we get it in place. So I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and jack the car up. We'll pop the wheels off. That way we can go ahead and set some screws into the lip and have it in place. I don't know if the muffler is gonna get in the way. It is quite close here to the bumper. So for now, we'll go ahead and jack up the rear end, take the wheels off, and see if we can get this lip to fit. Okay, so now we got that off. We can see better what we're working with. And as far as the lip goes, it looks like it's just gonna set here snug underneath that body line there. So I think if I set in a couple of screws on this side, just so it goes here, here, and then line it up maybe with those holes there, just here and here, it should fit perfectly. And then we can go ahead, wrap it around, and do the other side. So we'll see how well this fits. I may throw in another strip of 3M tape like we did similar on the front and help secure it a little bit better. But yeah, we'll go with that for now, see how it lines up, and go from there. So there's the rear lip installed. It actually looks really good. I need to take it outside that way I can get a better visual of it, just because the garage here is so freaking cramped. But it looks really good. So we'll go ahead and throw the wheels back on now, get this thing on the ground, and see how it looks once it is laying down. Overall fitment looks to be pretty good. It's nice and snugged up to the bumper. I didn't use any 3M tape, which this lip's gonna have to come off again at some point. So when we do wrap the whole car, we will be taking and throwing some 3M tape on there, and hopefully when this sets on here for some time, it'll mold a little bit better to the shape of the bumper rather than being so flat. So we'll see how it is, but for now, let's go ahead and get this thing back on the ground and see how it looks. glad I took the Civic outside to get a full walk around and see how all the fitment was on the front lip, the rear lip, the headlights, the grille, and I gotta say, everything came together really nicely for being aftermarket pieces. I would have liked to use OEM, but for the cost of everything that we used here and sourcing it, it was a lot easier, a lot cheaper, and I gotta say, it all fit really nice. The rear lip, I was a little worried about because we pulled it out of the box, you guys saw, it had that full middle section there that was pretty straight, and it took a nice curvature to the bumper. There's no weird sag, no weird panel gaps of any kind. It's nice and tight to the bumper, which I'm really happy with. Same thing goes with the front lip. You guys saw we pulled it out of the box, and it basically just went on the bumper, hugs it perfectly, and fits really nicely. Now, once we do go to pull all this stuff back off, because we will be vinyl wrapping the car here at some point, I will be securing them a little bit more properly. You guys saw it's just held on with like the self-tapping screws and a little bit of tape. When we do pull it off, we'll run a full strip of tape on both lips and secure it at that point. The rest of the pieces, the grille, like I said, looks really big and open being all black, but I think once we do get that vinyl wrap and match to the color of the car, it'll look a lot cleaner, especially with having the black mesh and then having this outer piece the same color of the car. Headlights, the only gripe I have with it is just this little bit of panel gap here. It's not horrible, it's definitely usable, and for what I'm going to end up doing with these, we'll be cutting them up, modifying them, and I think it'll be perfectly fine. In the garage here, you can see they look rather dark. I thought outside it looked a lot cleaner, crisper, not quite as dark, but it's definitely giving it that Type R look that I am going for. So with that being said, you guys can let me know in the comments below what you guys think of how everything came together and how the Civic's looking. And if you guys are interested in anything that I used in this video, I'll be sure to link it down in the description. But we'll go ahead and end the video out here. So if you guys like this video, make sure you give a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. We got plenty more stuff coming for the Civic, and I'll see you guys in the next one.